All right, it's me, King, and I'm here to give you the black code, the definitive black code. Let's go ahead and dive into it. It's only 10 of them, but they're so powerful. I might have to explain it a little bit more, and I had to put on my warrior paint. It's actually just a peel off pass. Anywho, uh, number one. No, let's do it. Let's do it reverse. Let's do 10 up to 1. All right. Number 10, communicate privately before making a public statement. So, this is to anybody who has elevated to a platform where they're able to reach the masses, or people come to them for um, their opinion, like a Shaq on Kyrie, or, everybody's talking about Kanye and things like this. So, we want to communicate privately before we make a public statement. Let's just talk to them. Let's see where they're at, and then we can give our honest opinion. We don't need to go off the rails and just make a statement just for the sake of making a statement. We don't want to be first. We want to be right. All right. So now, number 9 ties into that. Don't agree with the angry mob slash media. So a lot of times, media has villainized the black people, right? The melanated man, especially. So we want to not agree with them at all. Uh, we want to say things like, well, I want to wait and see what other information is going to be assessed. I don't want to give my opinion just yet. I want to, hold them in the highest regard and esteem until all the information is presented. Like Bill Cosby, obviously he was acquitted, but everybody had him, dead to rights. So we want to say, hey, I don't believe that information is correct, but I'm still waiting to pass judgment and get more information, and hopefully it's going to be well founded. I don't want to talk on something that I don't feel comfortable with at the time. So please respect my opinion. Now, obviously, you're getting paid to do a job, so you have to play ball and act accordingly, and that is, well, I want to just wait and see. You know, you don't have to say I don't agree with you, you white media. You just want to say you want to find out more information before this thing unravels and see, exactly where it leads us. Um, Now that also ties into number 7, where we want to uh, support publicly, not privately. So where you have people like drink champs who want to give people their flowers, hip hop artists and things like that before they're dead. We also want to support publicly where there is um, things that should be recognized and recognition should be given. So whether it's somebody with boots on the ground that needs to be recognized for their humanitarian efforts, or somebody who is a philanthropist who's giving back. And we want to make sure those philanthropists that are giving back are doing it publicly. So I don't want, somebody saying, "Oh yeah, I gave them a few $100,000." In hindsight, I want it up front. Hey, this is what I'm donating to them. This is what I'm giving to them. This is what I'm giving to the cause, to the organization. This is my contribution. I put this on Front Street so that other people with means can also put that on Front Street as well, and we can show our support publicly and not privately. All right. So that is um, number 8. And number 7 is we want to spread knowledge of financial institutions and opportunities. So we want to spread the knowledge of whether it's, hey, you need to get you an LLC. Hey, you need to get into whole life insurance. Hey, you need to find this opportunity to invest in this company, corporation, get these stocks. You know, go in with this company to the grassroots or what have you. So we want to spread that knowledge, financial institutions and opportunities, so that we can build a stronger financial base. So obviously, uh, there are people that don't know and don't know what they don't know. Those that do know have to spread that knowledge and allow the people that don't know to pick up those pieces, those jewels, and allow them to fashion their own necklace instead of having that noose of poverty around their neck. I just came up with that. It must be the face. All right. So, number 6, have diversified money before you show money. All right. Woo-hoo. Now we diving in deep, right? So, as this ties into the last one, having knowledge of financial institutions, number 6 is having a diversified money. You should have several streams of income coming into you, coming into your household, coming into your financial statement or what have you, um, before you are outwardly showing and showcasing your money. You shouldn't say, I want to get me uh, the bubble eye bins on my first record deal check. You know what I mean? Because obviously I got to pay taxes. Obviously I got to pay back the advance, things of this nature. So you don't want to show money before you have diversified money. So you want to have those things in place, whether it's whole life insurance, whether it's stocks, whether it's investments and companies. Rick Ross has Wink Out. So you want to have a diverse portfolio of revenue and money coming into you before you go out spending money just to show that you have obtained a sum of money. Whether you get millions of dollars on the NBA or not, because that money is halved or 60% is taken out, whatever, and then you still want to go out and show money and show love to those that you care about. But you have to really do your research. Going back to number 7, find out that information and then diversify before you show it off or blow it off. It must be a scam. All right, so now we done did 6. Number 5. This ties into number 6 quite eloquently. Search out vacancies in industries for money circulation. So our black dollar needs to circulate throughout our community a lot more than it is. It's not circulating, but maybe 2 to 3 hands, if that. So we want to make sure that we circulate our money the same way as our counterparts and other communities and ethnicities. We want to search out industry that don't have black faces, and we want to look to thrive in those industries and also wedge our way into those industries so that we have an opportunity when we're looking to when others are looking to do business, those that have a diversified money who are able to now publicly support are able to go in and support your business and your industry because it is now something that we can get behind. But with the vacancy there, we can't actually look into putting anybody in place. You have to put yourself in place, and then we're able to support behind you. So search out vacancies in industries, and help that money circulate. So it's a lot of people doing CDL driving, where are the mechanics, and if we have a mechanic shop, we can have a national mechanic shop. You know what I mean? So that's the type of vertical, ascension we can have with the support of those who support publicly that have that diversified money. So this is just how the things work. Now, that's number four, find a way to invest in your community. So this goes hand in hand with number five. Um, when you find a way to invest in your community, we got to break down the word community. Community is just a group of families, right? So your family in particular, you have your um, mother, your father, your sister, and your brother. You have your cousins, your nieces, your nephews, your aunties, and your uncles. These people are your community. Find a way to invest in them, right? So this investment could be passing down a trade. All right, little nephew, come with me. I'm about to teach you how to do this, um, brick masonry work. I'm about to teach you how to do some contracting work. I'm going to show you how to pour this concrete. I'm going to show my niece how to braid hair. Whatever the case may be, you can pass on that trade. You can also look to um, build up their neighborhood by just building their house. You know what I mean? So your grandma's house might be the family's house. Everybody going over there, everybody doing Thanksgiving over there, but it's deteriorating, over time. And one thing that you can do to invest in your community is invest in that house. Make sure that that house has a good foundation. Make sure that it has a roof. Make sure that you're doing the maintenance to ensure that it's going to be there for generations to come. So that investing in your community um, could be starting a program of math and science, having a science fair, having an opportunity to do a sports tournament, or having a cookout where we talk about politics and being able to speak and communicate privately before you have that public statement, where that you're able to come together and say, hey, these are the things that we want to change in our community, so that when we come to our politician, we're on the same page, united, and on one front. And that way, we can push the agenda and make that public statement, because this is what we want and this is what you should do for us. Now, speaking on that, number four, we get to number three. And number three is definitely ties into number four, which is ensure the next generation is protected from outside forces. So, what does this look like? So, say for instance, these outside forces are GMOs, something that is genetically modifying your hormones in your body. We have to make sure that we don't allow these genetically modified organics, or this food, to manipulate our hormonal structure and cause us to go off the rails physically and emotionally. So we have to protect our next generation from these outside forces, because obviously, as the older generation, we should be abreast, or have knowledge of what's out there, and how to fight against it, or how to combat it. If not, we need to communicate privately and come up with a public statement on how we are to um, reject or circumvent and have alternatives to whatever that may be out there in the present. So another thing, it may be a culture of murder, violence, things of that nature. We want to protect our next generation against that culture because we don't want our culture, our next generation to die off because there is a culture of mass murder, whether it's um, through the bullet or through the Planned Parenthood. So we want to make sure that we are saying, hey, our life is amazing and wonderful, and we want to keep you safe and protected because we value you. And because of that, we want to protect you in the best way possible. So all of these outside forces, whether it's an agenda to um, turn away from reproductive sex and have pleasure sex, which would ensure that there aren't as many being reproduced. So we want to make sure that that is also rejected or blocked out as a force that could potentially weaken and deteriorate us in the long run. So that's number three. Ensure the next generation is protected from outside forces. Number two is support your people first. Now, this is treat your people the best. This is the same thing for um, all the things going forward. You want to be the best to your people. You want to ensure that you seek out and try to do business with your people first and support your people publicly. And you just want the best for your people. So you want to make sure that um, you want to have a uh, repartee with those that are in your community. And when I say your community, I mean family, and we also have extended family and extended family and extended family. That's how we make community, right? So, um, you know, um, this is the way it goes. Your sister's baby daddy cousin owns this business. Well, I got to support it because I have to make sure I am treating my people the best, right? And they're in my community. Now, number one, the same thing, right? Treat your people the best. So I said it twice in order to really showcase how important it is to have a mindset of treat your people the best. Your people, uh, you have to make sure that you smile at one another in passing. Hey, how you doing? I'm doing all right. See the black face? I see your black face too. Okay, cool. Um, you want to have an experience of love and support and respect at every encounter because you want to treat your people the best. You don't want to showcase a negative opinion of your people by, siding with the angry mob or the media. You want to disagree with them. You want to present um, things as they should be and not as they are. And that way, you would make the biggest change, the change you want to see. So, you want to treat your people the best. You want to teach your people to treat your people the best. You want to teach your next generation, hey, treat your people the best. Do business with your people first. these two things are the one thing, right? So now that I went in opposite order, I'll go in the number ascending, I'll go descending really quickly here. Treat your people the best. Support your people first. Um, ensure the next generation is protected from outside forces. Find a way to invest in your community. Search out vacancies in industries for money circulation. Um, have a diversified money before you show money. Uh, spread knowledge of financial institutions and opportunity. Uh, um, that's seven. All right. Don't agree with the angry financial institutions and community. And then it's support your people publicly, not privately. Don't agree with the angry mob or media, and also communicate privately before making a public statement. So I had it all mixed up and jumbled up, but I did do it in the right order. Hopefully, up and down. Ooh. But yeah, man, thanks for listening. Stay tuned for more. Peace out. Have a good one.